ADHD is short for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. LD is short for Learning Disability. Whichever naming method we prefer, the long versions or the acronyms, do we ever ask if there's a relationship between them? In this 4-part series, I'm going to investigate, if any, there is a relationship. Welcome and thank you for being here. I hope you stay with me for the rest of the videos. Here in part 1, I'm going to explain what I mean by relationships. Part 2, I will summarize ADHD. Part 3, I will summarize LD. And in part 4, I'll take everything I discussed in parts 1, 2, 3, and I'll use that to give my analysis of if there's a relationship and the nature of that relationship. And of course, to save time, I'll often call him ADHD or LD. So the first relationship possible is that they're one and the same. If I give a medical example, if someone says, what's the relationship between myocardial infarction or a heart attack? This circle represents all the heart attacks, types of heart attacks and the types of myocardial infarction. I believe it's the same circle because it's the same thing. Or if I said the relationship between fall and autumn, it's the same thing. It's just different names in other parts of the world. And I have one more fun example. What's the relationship between these 3 sharks? A sand tiger shark, a grey nurse shark, and a ragged tooth shark. Any shark experts who know the relationship between them? They are 3 names for the same shark. There it is. And I believe sand tiger shark's the general name other than in Australia or South Africa. For some reason, there are 3 names given to the same shark. And if you want some fun trivia, and that's got nothing to do with this topic, you will often see that shark in aquariums. And I believe the reason is because they just do nicely in aquariums. With trial and error, they get the best results usually with sand tiger sharks. And another relationship is once a subset of another. An example of this, and of course I don't wish this on anyone, is lung cancer and cancer in general. Like the big circle represents all types of cancers. The little circle is all types of lung cancers. One is a type of the big one. That's a one relationship where like A is a type of B. And the fun example, a square is a type of rectangle. A rectangle, opposite sides are equal in length and opposite sides are parallel. A square is a type of rectangle where all 4 sides are equal, not just opposite ones have equal length. So that's another example is subsets. Another possibility is partially overlap, such as in this circle. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say this circle represents horror movies, and this circle represents science fiction. Some type of horror movies are also science fiction movies. Some science fiction movies are also horror movies. But you can have a movie that's science fiction but not horror. And you can have a movie that is horror but not science fiction. I myself cannot think of an example of medical conditions where one is a partially overlaps the other. Maybe a doctor might have some, but I cannot think of any. And the other possibility, the other relationship is they are completely distinct. This is one and not the other. An example, a broken ankle and hearing loss. I don't believe there's something like a certain type of hearing loss that's also a broken ankle, or there's a type of broken ankle that's also a type of hearing loss. They are completely different. So the other relationship is they're not related. But now it becomes interesting. Sometimes they're unrelated, but it's possible to have both at the same time, and sometimes it's not. It's like, I believe dwarfism and giganticism are not the same, but one cannot have both at the same time. A broken ankle and hearing loss are not the same thing, but I believe it is possible to have both at the same time. I don't wish that on most people. And having two conditions at the same time, I believe the medical name is comorbidity. And the other question we ask, is there high comorbidity? This is where it's interesting. If we've now shown they are distinct, we then ask, do people have both of them very often? Sometimes, as I said, it never happens that people have both. Sometimes you can have both. And sometimes you have both conditions together far more often than other sets of conditions. So even though they're distinct, there's some reason why people often have both. I gave some examples of relationships, and this brings us back to my original question. Is there a relationship between ADHD and learning disability? And if so, what's the nature of it? In part 2, I summarize ADHD. Part 3, I summarize learning disability. And in part 4, I'll bring it all together and give you my analysis. I hope you stick with me, and part 2 is just ahead. Thank you.